Get back to our conversation, ladies and gentlemen, listeners out there. Today we have many things happening, and we told you this is the Christmas year. The month, of course, is December. And being December, you are allowed to do many things. Only thing, do not eat cabbage, please. Hakuna kula cabbage kwa nyumba. We refuse. And number 2, you can party every single day. Party goes on. Party don't stop. So when we went for a break, we were supposed to discuss one or two things, and the first issue was about disability, and we were talking about what about the enforcement. What do you think can be done to have the enforcement in the level of these laws, beautiful laws passed in our country?
Thank you so much. Enforcement is mainly supposed to be done by the National Council for Persons with Disability. The new law has provided for the council to employ to have an inspectorate department. So with that, then it means we'll be having inspectors of these built environment, the infrastructure, and also the ICT platforms. And with them having now the teeth, being able to bite, I think enforcement will be a little bit more visible than it was in the past. Another way is through the existing platforms that right from the curriculum within the education setup, the curriculum is supposed to enforce the implementation of these programs. That right from the basic education across to the higher education, we are supposed to learn and know that having accessible designs is one modality of us having a culture that brings up the infrastructure and the conversation on accepting that accessible design will go a long way to inculcate a culture that values persons with disability welfare. So that is our one main area. Then the government has this commitment on ensuring that NTSA, National Transport and Safety Authority plays a pivotal role in ensuring that there is compliance, that the SACCOs, Matatu SACCOs and so on, they are supposed to be approved to operate by considering accessibility as one of the key references for their approval. With that, then it means that all operators, Matatu operators, then can be able to align their PSV vehicles to accessibility standards. So that one has also been clearly provided for in the law. And we having now a mechanism to ensure that we build capacity for NTSA and other stakeholders, including the Matatu Owners Association, to ensure that we have that, because that is one major gap that we've had for a very, very long time. So and many other practices that are in place. So I think that is just to mention, but a few of the plans that we have on enforcement, because without bringing all these key stakeholders, the one in the transport, the one in the education sector, and the council having the capacity enough, it requires also enough funding to ensure that now they employ the inspectors again and that they create a lot of awareness around it. We will not be able to achieve it. But if all players can be able to come together and play their role, then we're bound to see a lot of difference. And some of these commitments, we have a deadline. That is the beauty.
When you say you have a deadline,
yes,
of course, for the Matatus, it's very difficult, because if you look at the 14-seater Matatu, In a nutshell, there should be seats which are reserved.
Yes.
Like in parking lot, your parking reserved for people with disability.
True.
And in matatus, we should have on public transport, because the biggest problem in our country is that the transport business is left to private individuals. In any developed or developing state,
Yes.
Transport cannot be on private individuals' ambit.
Yes.
It should be in the government ambit to control, first of all, the movement of people and also the distribution of people. Yeah.
Thank you. The Nairobi Metropolitan Authority, NAMATA, had a program of implementing the BRT system. Yeah. That BRT system had very clear provisions on how to accommodate persons with disability. We know, we remember the Michuki rules. When Michuki came with the new rules, matatus were initially hesitant.
Yes, but they
but because of the toughness in enforcement of those laws, we saw all matatus having the seat belts and so on, having the bins, waste, the dust bins and so on within our vehicles, and it was orderly. With that, it means then where there is, they say where there is need, there is will, or where there is will.
But there's will.
Yes, there is need.
Yeah.
With that example, we can be able to enforce it. Of course, the introduction could be in phases. Yeah, it could be in phases. Like if we can pick like the two roads, the Mombasa Road and the Thika Road, and enforce that. We have it as a pilot program. We can be able to achieve it because we're not inventing a new wheel. Okay. These are programs that are already have already been adopted by many other countries, and they are working. So the PSV can be able to change as long as we comply with the current existing with the law, and the agencies that have the responsibility to enforce it are also working around the clock to ensure that these adjustments are implemented.
So what are the deadlines like? Because you've said that we have enforcement must be put in a structure, and the structure must be with deadlines.
Yes. Yes, we have quite a number of deadlines varying, but as per the government commitment, because some of these programs that we have through the interagency coordination advisory committee, where I'm sitting, we have made commitments to work with these key institutions to implement them by the year 2028.
Yeah, all of them by the year 2028.
Yes.
So we
have a staggering program of ensuring that some of these key areas are implemented without. And history has demonstrated that we're able to do, because personally I'm serving the second term in that committee. And during our first time, we had quite a number of commitments that we managed to achieve. We achieved around 70% of the commitments. So I'm pretty sure with the zeal that we have now and the goodwill of the government responsible institutions, we should be able to implement. Again, we working as within a stakeholder approach, and we have more organizations of persons with disability involved in the design and implementation of this program. And with support from the same institution and other development partners, both local and international, I think we should be able to reach to a certain percentage of implementation.
What happens in the cases where there are people who are actually violating you say, like in the case of where we are putting deadlines.
Yes.
When people violate some of these incentives that are put there to help people with disability, are there penalties involved? If
Yes, I've gotten your question, and yes, we have people abusing also these provisions that we have to accommodate persons with disability. And I have a basic example of a gentleman from Northeastern who chopped off the small finger completely.
What the hell?
Yeah, intentionally, because if you are working both in government, in private institutions, the law says that any income that you get, a salary of 150,000 and less,
Should not be.
Yeah, you are not taxed.
Yeah, you should not be taxed.
And that you can import at least one vehicle.
Okay.
I think ever after 2 or 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, and with those incentives, Kenyans are also very crafty.
Yes.
They end up also doing things that are really not of good integrity. So this gentleman chopped off the small finger, only to realize that KRA also allocates these preferences after assessment.
Yes.
Yeah. And that the small finger doesn't have an effect, a benefit of incentive.
Oh my God.
So he
The
remained
thumb-
with nine fingers.
Yes, the thumb has an incentive because you can do many things
With the
without
thumb.
the small finger.
Yes.
But the thumb, no.
But the thumb, without the thumb, you cannot drive. You cannot even hold a djembe or things like that.
Even greetings.
Even greetings. When you greet someone without the thumb, I think
It's
you feel
not
better.
so-
It's so comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the gentleman ended up not getting those benefits. Yeah. So I don't know if he went back and chopped off the thumb or...
And then this one now leads me to the other question.
Yeah.
How would you describe who is a person with disability? Because now, if someone is born without that little finger, so where does he stand? Is he a person without disability? If I don't have proper eyesight, if probably I can't hear so well with one of my ear, who is a person with disability? Like generally.
Thank you. I usually, when I sensitize people, because I train a lot, I think I've trained over 5,000 people on disability matters. So when I train people on disability, I usually use a simple formula that the disability D is equal to impairment I plus barriers B. D is equal to I plus B, where D is disability, I is impairment, and B are the barriers. To understand disability, you must understand the impairment part of it. So impairment is a loss of body function, and this body function should have a threshold. The loss should have a threshold. So globally, they say if you lose a body function, like 10% of the body function and above, you most likely going to be a person with a disability. Yeah, if you lose one eye completely, that is like 50% of the visual function.
Yeah.
If you lose a ear, one side, then it is almost 50%. But again, if they say if you are not able to read at a distance, 3-meter distance, for example, even with the support of
sunglasses,
glasses,
actually,
tested, then you a person with visual impairment. So the people that can ascertain that are the specialists of that particular function. For the eye, we have the ophthalmologist. Yes, and then we have people who deals with the bones and so on. For the ear, you go through the ENT, they assess, and then they ascertain whether you have a disability or not. So any level 4 hospital. I think they have designated assessors who visits maybe once every month and so on. And also the National Council of Persons with Disabilities have programs they keep on publishing where they visit maybe through a school or institution or during an event. Like now in Ilodwa, they will have a tent, a desk for assessment. And also we have institutions like KISA and so on. So those specialists have guidelines, and you can download the guidelines. It is on the internet. On the threshold and type of disability. So we have very clear guidelines for that, and the only registered specialists can be able to ascertain that. Of course, where we have a challenge again is where persons use persons with disability to register them. Like I can take you, my brother, to be assessed,
and then enjoy the privileges.
Then I use your certificate or your registration
to acquire for business,
to do business with the government and so on, and to get some privileges that comes out of it. And I think that's where we need to really focus on, especially for the agencies that are on the program of 2% or 5% ACPO. Because if, for example, an institution such as Kenya National Airways Authority, I'm just using it as an example, not to take offense, or this big institution, they have like a budget, expenditure budget of around 5 billion. For persons with disabilities. And they reported that they have been able to implement that to the letter. Then we need to see if it is Kenya Ports Authority within Mombasa, these SUVs and all those, the livelihood of persons with disability, especially in the parking lots. Then we'll see that there is a...
Is it commensurate?
It's commensurate to the provisions. But if we are not seeing it, then it means some are using persons with disabilities
for their own advantage.
To do business with the government. So awareness creation is very important, so that persons with disability themselves should know their rights. They are not supposed to be used for business, and integrity of people such as procurement officers and so on, to ensure that they also do the background check. I have an example of an institution, and this is a very good institution, that asked someone who went with a certificate, ACPO certificate, to do business, and was claiming the registration is under his wife, the wife. So this officer asked the gentleman to go and come with the wife, even offered a vehicle. Only for the gentleman to, of course, play hide and seek. So when we were getting the story, it was like 2 months down the line, the guy had disappeared, which means that certificate didn't have the right person.
It was
illegally acquired.
Okay. And what happens in such a situation? Are there arrests made?
Yes, I don't know if the person was arrested, but again, you find there is a collusion between the officer and the person that is coming with it.
So you told us about the achievement, and you said the first time you achieved around 70% of what you were set out to do. And maybe it's now the time you give us your journey and the achievements. How has the journey in this field been?
Of course, we have a lot of achievement on the welfare of persons with disabilities, because first there is acceptance. With the Constitution of Kenya, the way you introduced of 2010, Article 27 and Article 54, gave a lot of opportunities for persons with disability. On political aspect, we will always see at least members within the Parliament, MNA and the Senate. Because they require at least two persons with disability. And those members, when they are within that arrangement, they champion the rights for persons with disabilities, assist in the review of the legislation of persons with disability. So through that, we've reduced stigma and discrimination substantially. People are no longer hiding persons with disabilities, and with provisions of these benefits, ACPO, employment, and so on, parents are even preferring now to take their children with disabilities to school. Because if you have two, you have one without disability and one with a disability, chances are very high, if they are educated within the same level, your child with a disability will most likely get a job faster than that one without a disability. So people are bringing out that children. Then, of course, we've moved from the model of disability charity model to human rights model, where we're no longer having that pity. When you see a person with a disability, you feel like giving them 10 bob and so on. it used to be rampant like 20 years ago, but when you check on the streets, you find few persons with disability. And those that are there are also imported for money.
The Tanzanians.
Yes.
Yeah, like for example, I think there was a viral video the other day of a street kid who had actually tied his legs and was begging on the streets.
Yes, was not a real child
until when they came and bust him.
Yes. Although we've had cases where we had a case where someone was offered a job in a government institution. They worked for like 3-6 months. They decided to leave the job and go back to the streets again because I think they felt like the street pays and you don't pay
better and you don't work.
Yes, without too much work.
Yes.
So we have very few cases, but generally, when you compare 20 years ago and now, we've embraced persons with disabilities more. We've deliberately seen deliberate actions from the government and even from the private partners, giving opportunities to persons with disability. We have institutions that have done so well even there within the private setup. We have seen hotels where they've deliberately employed persons with disabilities and are serving the cause. So that is one. Secondly, so one is on the acceptance, etiquette, having decorum when handling persons with disability. Secondly, economic empowerment. We have pro-economic empowerment programs like the tools for trade. Each and every year we have an allocation of money to give tools to persons with disabilities within the TVET sector. And we need to talk about this so that they can know that if you have a disability and you're doing a course in beauty, mechanical engineering and so on, there is some funds to offer you the tools. Then we have also revolving funds for chamas that brings together persons with disabilities who forms a CBU or something. Where I come from, we had one chama which was given 290,000. It brought together two guys from Bombolulu. They had undergone carpentry training in Bombolulu. Bombolulu is for people with physical disabilities.
We are in Mombasa.
In Mombasa, yes. So these gentlemen with 290, they were supposed to get some like the saw and so on for carpentry. And you know where I come from, the Luya community, I was told again, they have many clans za kutengeneza vitanda and so zinavunjika ovyo ovyo.
Very fast. Very fast.
And they flourished out of it. So we have that arrangement, deliberate arrangement to support that initiative. Then we also have individual funding where you see people with their tricycles, and huku nyuma they have like suites and so on. They go like for 50,000 shillings and so on. And I believe and I hope even the Nyota should consider that, this Nyota program. So that they have at least allocation for persons with disabilities. With 50,000, the cobbler can start. Or can enhance the shoe repair business. And end up flourishing one way.
So I think you've really captured it very well. And we'll come to your personal journey in the next half.
Thank you.
For now, I want us to go to